Am I wrong for posting videos of my niece and nephew misbehaving in response to my sister's complaints that I did not want them at my birthday dinner? My sister Angel claims to use hands-off parenting with my niece Sophia and nephew Parker. In actuality, Angel is entirely permissive and refuses to discipline them. She expects other adults to step in when Sophia and Parker's behavior is getting out of hand. For this reason, I asked Angel to get a babysitter for Sophia and Parker if she wanted to attend my 27th birthday. I love Sophia and Parker as their aunt, but at the same time, I want a peaceful evening to celebrate my birthday instead of dealing with Sophia and Parker's behavior because I know Angel isn't going to discipline them herself. Angel acted understanding when I made this request and explained my reasons to her in person, but then she went online and made a Facebook post accusing me of hating Sophia and Parker and trying to punish Angel by only inviting our sister Jessica's kid, Megan, to my birthday dinner. Never mind that Megan is 17 and is practically an adult herself. The fact that she went to social media to air out your family drama shows the type of person that she is. I'm already on your side. Several of our relatives and mutual acquaintances called me out and said that I was an asshole and was excluding a 10 and 7-year-old. I responded to Angel's post by sharing 2 videos of Sophia and Parker misbehaving while Angel did nothing. The first video was a recording taken by Megan, where Sophia and Parker were throwing tantrums and yelling at her. Megan was trying to calm Sophia and Parker down while Angel was on her tablet ignoring the situation. The other video was one that Angel took. Sophia and Parker were yelling, throwing toys at each other, and Parker even called his sister a bad word. Angel was laughing as if it were funny and was again doing nothing to discipline Sophia or Parker. I wrote alongside the videos that I love Sophia and Parker as their aunt, but at the same time I want a peaceful evening to celebrate my birthday, and I don't want to be stuck disciplining Sophia and Parker because clearly Angel won't. Angel ended up not coming to my birthday at all. My parents told me that I was in the wrong for sharing those videos because everyone's children have acted up and posting those videos didn't accomplish anything besides embarrassing Angel. They also said I could have compromised by having a nobody under 18 rule for my birthday dinner. Megan would not have been able to attend, but Sophia and Parker wouldn't feel excluded. I do not see how that would be fair to myself or Megan. So, am I the asshole for not wanting to make a compromise for my birthday dinner?
Am I wrong for screaming at my husband and his sister to get out of my kitchen? My husband's sister, 38, lives with us and our kids. I'm well beyond fed up with her being here because of food issues, and that's honestly the only reason. So basically, every time I make food, his sister will come in the kitchen and doctor up the food I'm making to her liking. Like I made steak and shrimp the other day like Applebee's, and she waited until I left the room to put a full stick of butter in my shrimp that was already done. And when I came back in, she goes, "I'm pretty sure that's the taste you were looking for," and completely ruined it. It was literally trash. Or whenever I make spaghetti, she'll literally start dumping sugar into the sauce. And to a point of sweet spaghetti that me and my kids outright refuse to touch because it's nasty. Now, I don't mind a little bit of sugar in my spaghetti, but let me know down below if you guys are a fan, if you're heavy-handed, or if you don't want sugar anywhere near your spaghetti. But every single time she can get away with it, she's doing something to the food. Am I wrong for screaming at my husband and his sister to get out of my kitchen? Every single time she can get away with it, she's doing something to the food. Anyways, my husband has started to do the same thing. I was making homemade mac and cheese and cheeseburgers when I went to go to the basement to the chest freezer. I grabbed the vegetables I needed, and when I came upstairs, my husband was putting canned chicken into the mac and cheese. And he knows the kids absolutely hate the taste of that. And his sister was pushing blocks of blue cheese into the partially cooked burgers. I asked them what the F they were doing because I've told them so many times to stop messing with the food, and neither of them had a good excuse. Except for the fact that they were just helping, so I flipped out and told them to get the F out of my kitchen. They both told me I'm overreacting, but the thing is, I've openly asked sister-in-law to cook several times and she won't. But she won't stop messing with the food that I'm making. My husband does cook often, but he knows how I feel about people messing with my food. Am I wrong for saying no to my wife to be a bridesmaid? I am or was going to be the best man at my brother's wedding next year. My wife was also invited to be a bridesmaid, and initially she said yes. It turns out the bride is now expecting my wife to get a whole new wardrobe for the bridal showers, bachelorette party, rehearsal, and reception dinner on top of the bridesmaid's dress. And the only color she's allowed to wear to all of these events is the same lavender color as her bridesmaid's dress. She was even given a few swatches of the material to take shopping with her. The shoes and makeup have to match the photos, and even pajamas have to match. I know it's a lot, you guys. All I can say is at least the pictures are going to be so cute. Anyway, the bachelorette party is a week getaway plus all the other events. It's like an additional 10 days of clothes that my wife will never wear again. She normally wears black or dark color clothes. I bring this up to my brother after he brings me the swatches of the fabric. I told him it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Am I wrong for saying no to my wife to be a bridesmaid? I brought this up to my brother after he brought me some fabric, and I told him it was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. He said that's why they're giving me almost a year to get together all the items for the bachelorette and wedding. I'm thinking of my wife's reaction because she's already not great friends with the bride. I told my brother that my wife can attend the wedding as a guest and not a bridesmaid. So my brother gets all upset, saying I'm upsetting his fiance's aesthetic that she had planned. He feels like all he's asking is a few days of accommodation, and I'm saying no. So he tells me I'm no longer his best man for this, and I'm selfish for destroying his fiance's dream wedding over a few dresses. By the way, I'm not sure why some people think I didn't discuss this with my wife. I told her afterwards and she laughed, saying hard pass. Maybe when you grow up into a functional, healthy relationship, you'll understand that you can predict your partner's moods and their boundaries. Top comment says, people are not an aesthetic. They are not a prop in someone's wedding. An aesthetic is a centerpiece.
Am I in the wrong for keeping my son from his senior prom as punishment? We have a son who just graduated from high school. This happened in May, but we are still dealing with the fallout. Our son is very clearly still upset with us because of his punishment. This is why I'm asking for help for my husband and I. Our son has 3 best friends who he's been close with since elementary school. They've all played sports together, and between that and school, we've become friends with the other boys' parents. I was not there to see this happen, so this is the account of another mom. The boys were at one friend's house who has a pool and had some girls over. They were sitting at the table that could have been seen from the kitchen window. The boy's mom saw her son taking pictures on Snapchat of a girl who was there. After everyone left, she confronted her son about this and found a Snapchat group that the 4 boys made where they share snipes of girls that they've taken. I'm not going to go into detail about how upset this made my husband and I. We thought we raised our son to be much better than that. All the parents got involved and we each punished our sons. The chat was deleted and their phones were searched for images. Because of the severity, we collectively decided that our boys would not be allowed to go to their senior prom, which was 3 weeks away at this point. So here's what I'm questioning. A week before prom, all 3 of the other sets of parents caved and decided they were going to allow their boys to go. I spoke with a few of them and questioned their reasoning. I was taken aback by some of their dismissals, but the general theme was holding their sons out of a once-in-a-lifetime event and, rather disgustingly, almost chalking it up to boys will be boys. They said that they would find a new punishment. My husband and I decided that we were having none of that. We did hold our son back from prom. We did not allow him to attend the after party either. He was livid and still is. He keeps saying how we took this experience from him and it was not fair. So, were we in the wrong for standing by the punishment? Am I in the wrong for kidnapping my baby, causing my husband to have a panic attack? I, 29 female, recently started working again after having my daughter, who's 4 months old now. Daycare is too expensive, so my husband, 35 male, reluctantly agreed to stay home. It's important to know that he's been unemployed since 2021. He receives benefits. It's also important to know that he's extremely lazy. He doesn't cook, clean, or help out in any way. I was nervous about leaving her home with her father, but I had no choice. When I came back from work, she was clean and sleeping. The next few times I came home, he was either playing with her, feeding her, or out for a walk with her. I was happy. A few days ago, my neighbor told me that as soon as I leave, the baby cries and she cries for hours. My neighbor said that she knocked on our door and he finally answered it. He was sleeping. I concluded that he sleeps all day and night. Before I come home, he pretends to take care of her. I decided to take the day off work. I left home at my regular time, waited 30 minutes and then went home. Sure enough, he was knocked out of sleep with his stupid noise-canceling headphones on. I went to my daughter's room, scooped her up and took her to my friend's house. I waited about 2 hours and I finally called him to tell him that I was coming home early. He called me back saying that he can't find the baby. He told me that he was going to call the police, but before he did, I told him what I did. He called me an a-hole and a lot of other words too. When I got home, his mother was there calming his nerves because he was having a panic attack. She also called me an a-hole. My husband decided to sleep at our house. Family members are telling me that I'm a terrible person. I know it was extreme, but I don't know if I would consider myself an a-hole. So, am I in the wrong here?
Am I wrong for forcing my stepdaughter to cut her hair? That way she doesn't become vain. I, 31, met my husband 34 8 years ago and we've been married for 6. He has an 11-year-old daughter from a previous relationship, and since I work from home, I mainly take care of her. I've done this since she was young and we generally have a good relationship. She also stays at her mom's most weekends. My stepdaughter has incredibly long wavy blonde hair just past her bottom. It's a nightmare to take care of and it frequently tangles, and she always needs help brushing and styling it. I'm not a morning person and I do not like having to wake up early to do a kid's hair. It's also expensive to maintain as she requires more products and insists on using hair oils that cost around $11 and only last a few weeks. And the shampoo and conditioner usually cost over $10. She also won't use a regular brush, so she uses a wide tooth comb, which takes so long. I decided she's become obsessed with her hair, so I decided it needs to be cut.